Graspan, those hills over there. You can see the railway line running parallel to the hills.
The Battle of Graspan. As the juggernaut rolled towards KImberley. The Boers on the Prinsloo again tried to slow them up. Same carbon copy result as Belmont back there. More hills over that side, but they're more sparse, stand out more in these plains. And the Boers had to come up with a better tactic than what they'd been using up to this stage for the last two battles.
And the Boers knew they were coming, so these were like entrenched positions. They knew that the British were going to come and relieve, and this was the route they were going to take. So they were already ready and waiting for them. It was the British who had to do all the hard work to get out trains and chase them off the top of those hills.
After the Battle of Belmont, the British troops spent the night in camp near Thomas's farm while the Royal Engineers repaired the railway line supported by the armoured train. And in the afternoon of the 24th of November 1899, Methuen force continued north towards the besieged town of KImberley, marching parallel to the railway line. The 1st Scots Guards, with some Royal Munster Fusiliers newly arrived from D'Ar, remained at Belmont, as there were believed to be a Boer commander of some 500 men still in the area. Methuen stopped at Swink's Pan, a station further north on the railway line, and camped. Boer scouts watching the column confirmed the presence of a Boer force, although it was not seen. At dawn on the morning of the 25th of November 1899, the 9th Brigade marched out heading north, the Guards being permitted to follow with the baggage in view of their major role in the battle the previous day. The armoured train provided support from the railway line. The 9th Brigade approached Graspan. The name refers to the circle of hills that surround the area, or Ensland Station, to find a substantial Boer force in position on the hills to the east of the railway line, covering the approach to Ensland Station. The Boers were positioned on a long ridge of low hills rising gradually from the veldt, beyond which was a further hill, the top being a precipitous ridge. The Boer force numbered around 3,000 men equipped with a heavy gun, 5 field guns, a Maxim 1-pounder pom-pom, and a Maxim machine gun, commanded by General Delaray. It was not the force Methuen faced at Belmont. On the most northern of these hills was positioned a commando of 300 Transvaalers newly arrived from KImberley. Methuen resolved not to repeat what was seen as his error in Belmont in allowing an inadequate artillery bombardment to precede the infantry attack. The British artillery, comprising the 13th and 75th field batteries and 2 naval guns, began a bombardment of the Boer positions. The Boer guns replied, but being positioned individually, were unable to respond as effectively as the British batteries. The Boers had registered the ranges before the battle began, but the British guns moved, throwing the Boers off target. As on many occasions, the Boer use of high explosive rendered their fire less effective than the British use of airburst shrapnel, even when the Boer fire was accurate. The Boer gun that made most impression on the British was the 1-pounder Maxim pom-pom, even though it was not effective in inflicting casualties. The pom-pom fired on the 18th Field Battery by way of indirect fire, with the Boer on the hilltop directing the pom-pom, which was on the reverse slope. The pom-pom fired some 200 rounds and achieved the deaths of 2 British horses and injury to 5 men. By the end of the artillery exchange, all the Boer guns were silenced, although not destroyed. The main effect on the Boer riflemen on the British gunfire was to cause them to take cover in the rocks at the top of the reverse slopes, inhibiting the Boer rifle fire. Realising that the Boer force was much stronger than he had been led to believe, Methuen telegraphed for the Guards Battalion on the march from Belmont to hurry forward. At about 7 a.m, while the British artillery was still firing on the line of hilltops, the British infantry began to advance. The Northamptonshires and the Northumberland Fusiliers approached the left-hand koppies. The Naval Brigade formed a storming party for the Boer position on the extreme right, with the 2nd King's Own Yorkshire light infantry moving around the hill on their right flank, and the North Lancashires on their left. The British infantry attack advanced in rushes, in open order, up the hill to the Boer positions. The British Army had learnt one of the major lessons of warfare against concealed marksmen, that officers must be as unobtrusive as possible. The Royal Navy had not. When his men went to ground, Captain Prothero, Royal Navy of HMS Doris, remained standing, an enormous man with a beard carrying a sword. He was soon shot and wounded. Commander Ethelston of HMS Powerful was also hit, but fatally. Major Plum was shot and killed, as was Captain Senior, both of the Royal Marines. The Royal Naval Brigade faltered in the face of the storm of rifle fire and its loss of officers, but was supported by the attacks on its right by the Yorkshire Light Infantry and its left by the North Lancashires. A further officer, Midshipman Cymbeline Houdat, was wounded for the third time, fatally. Captain Prothero is said to have called out, "Men of the Naval Brigade, advance at the double! Take that copy or be hanged for it!" The Naval Brigade stormed into the Boer positions at the top of the hill, led by Lieutenant Taylor, Royal Navy, and Lieutenant Jones, Royal Marine, Light Infantry. In the face of the British bayonet charge, the Boers left their position, some hurrying along the top of the ridge to the east and others descending the far side to their ponies and making off to the north. The 9th Lancers and Remington's Guides on the extreme British right attempted to pursue the retreating Boers, but came under a heavy fire from the kopje in the rear of the stormed positions. The British mounted men were forced to draw rein, while the Boers with their field guns made off to the north and east.
So yeah, a lot of even though they were British victories, many British soldiers perished in these battles. Many.
And the Boer High Command back in Bloemfontein heard of Commandant Prinsloo and weren't too impressed with his performance. So down came the Lion of the West, Koos Delaray. Tony's going to take us to where the tactics were modified somewhat, tightened up, changed, and the result was immediate. On we go. We're about 70 kilometres from Kimberley. We've done 370k already, so got a way to go yet. Go on.
This is now, we're at a confluence of two rivers. It is the Modder, and the tributary is the Riet. And the Riet, by the way, is an Afrikaans word for reeds, and the Modder is an Afrikaans word for mud. That's the name of the two rivers. And this was the third in the 4 battles to relieve Kimberley. And on this battle, I'm going to call it a draw, but with heavy losses on both sides.
Blockhouse, look at that.
That was my
Wow, here it is, look. We can see a little blockhouse. Is it a rice?
No, it's not a round one. It's not a rice one, that I can't say. It's a stone house one, and it's double story coming. You can't get inside though.
How close can we get?
Oh, you can get right up to it, but you can't get inside.
Okay.
There's no ladder once again. There. Yeah. We used to call, a local name for these is a John Deere, because they're green and yellow. You know the John Deere trenches?
Yeah, we got one.
Yeah.
Ryan's right on mower as a John Deere.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Look at this. Here's a British helmet of the time. Look at this. British corky.
Yeah. Some old mining helmet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Laying out here. There you go. So unfortunately there was once here a lovely mural, there was once information.
There we can see it.
Here.
That's brilliant. We've got to try and get a photo. It's going to be hard, but
yeah, it's all been vandalised.
yeah, we can still see the khakis. Hang on. Let's go over.
Yeah, just be careful for
Snakes.
not only that, but blackjacks.
What's a blackjack? I want the khakis. What's a blackjack?
Blackjack
Yeah.
And it's all thanks to the Boer War.
Right. I think you can get me in, Tony.
Can you get in?
Yep.
Alright. Oh my, you know, I'm saying fine to network, so I don't know if I run out of airtime or what. Camera.
Wow. Wow.
That's more modern. I don't know what, maybe something to do with the...
A well or something.
Yeah, punctuation or something. So here we are then.
There's some Boers over there, you can see.
Yeah. This was the first on the western front of trench warfare. This is where Delaray now was in command, far better commander than Prince Louis.
Yeah.
And not on the northern side of the river did he have the trenches, he had them here, this side.
Oh.
So they had the trenches and the river to deal with the British.
I wonder if that's the old pillars for the river.
Probably for the old bridges or something, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Must have been some things.
Tony says they blew the bridge up.
Yeah, yeah. Much later on, the bridge was blown up. And,
Bloody Boers.
This is the only battle, by the way, I think, through all the battles of the South African War, the Boer War, where both leaders got injured.
Oh.
And in this battle as well, Delaray lost his son Adrian by a bomb, shrapnel.
Oh dear.
Yeah. So Methuen got shot in the thigh. Delaray got wounded in the shoulder.
Yeah.
And so this is the only battle which both leaders got wounded. I don't know what other battle. But now we're right underneath the bridge.
Wow, look at that. It's nice to be in the shade, isn't it? Baking hot out there, guys.
I'll show you the river when we get to the top.
Yeah.
Too much reeds.
It's all overgrown with reeds.
Yeah. So, but I'm going to give you, at least here, this battle has got a diagram, so you can then, I would like to take you there, maybe we have a drink there. But here you go. Here's the advance of Methuen, and here is the trenches, as you can see, on this side of the riverbed. There's the river there, right. And there's the confluence. There's the Modder River. Here is the Reet, and it flows in there. The British eventually did manage to break through here at a heavy loss, and this is where Delaray lost his son, and this is where the Free State commanders were. One of the reasons which Delaray was very upset with the Free Staters is they fired too early. They should have let the British come more closer.
Yeah.
They learned their lessons.
Transfaalers.
Yeah, the Free Staters. But within this battle, here you've got trenches. And for me as a non-historian, Methuen didn't learn from this battle because the Boers use exactly the same tactics when we're going to go tomorrow to
that train line.
Yeah, we're right underneath the train line, so we are on the thing. And look how close we are now to the Orange Free State.
Train line.
Yeah.
Alright, we're just about to cross.
Yeah, we're not that far away.
We're coming from that direction, are we?
We're coming up from this direction, yeah. Okay. Tomorrow we'll be heading out towards there. So she's nicely explained it.
Yeah.
And in this battle as well, we had the Free State artillery. Now, if you can remember, Cherry, when we were at the museum in Bloemfontein, you saw the bust of Major Albrecht,
yes,
the leader of the Free State artillery.
Yeah, the German.
Yeah. He had his guns here as well, so he was also placed here, the Krupp guns and all that.
Yeah, there.
So
that's where you want them.
And they now I don't know what the losses were in this battle.
Inflicted casualties, folks.
Yeah.
And being on the other side of the river, the British aren't going to be able to charge those guns.
Yeah.
So they're nice and safe.
70 British soldiers were killed, 413 wounded, while 16 Boers were killed and 66 wounded. An additional 13 Boers were taken prisoner. Lord Methuen had sustained a painful flesh wound in the thigh, making this the only time that both commanders were wounded in the same engagement. Because the railway bridge had been damaged by the Boers, Methuen now had to wait for reinforcements before attempting the repair needed to get his troops across the river. Certain reports claim that some of his troops secretly left Modder River to join Lord Roberts' approaching army. So Yeah, so yeah, they could see that Methuen was not really such a good soldier, and he had his soldiers. Whether he was kind towards his men, but as a military tactics,
I think he was racing to get to Kimberley.
Yeah, he all thought it was going to be like a week to relieve Kimberley. It wasn't the case. You don't underestimate the enemy, and especially now when you're starting to talk about De la Rey, and then later on in these battles, when you go to Parderborough, you got De Wet. Come on, these guys are not pooples. They are good soldiers. So your superior numbers doesn't always count.
No.
Let's go and take you up to the blockhouse. Are you ready for the sun again?
Yep.
So as I say, can you imagine where these trees are? They could be on the bones of soldiers.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, these are pecan trees, guys. Pecan orchards.
Yeah. That's all there is now.
There'll certainly be bullets here.
Oh, for sure.
And shells.
Because they were trapped. The British soldiers were trapped. They were laying on the ground, trapped.
Yeah.
So, and this was a front on both sides of the road, of the railway.
Obviously, people used to come here because of that mural.
That's right.
It was part of
the battlefield tour.
Yeah.
But now we got one more guide left here in this area, going by the name of Steve. And he's the only. Once he's gone.
Here we go, guys. What I like about this beautiful blockhouse. It's not a rice because it's not round and it's not predominantly corrugated iron. It is that lookout sentry box is the same as Bella Bella. That latch there is probably where the ladder was positioned.
Yeah, I know. Entry is from the back here too.
Right.
But yeah, it is, unfortunately, well, maybe it's a good thing because.
Yeah, it'd be great to go in. Can't do that.
You look very carefully at the numbers here as well. Something came regiment, 3 regiment.
Regiment.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't make out the other number 3. L or something.
Had to bend the camera to look in there.
See, the entrance would have been here.
We'll have a look at this entrance.
I have been inside it when there was still a ladder.
Oh yeah, you can see there.
Yeah.
There's a little lizard.
Yeah.
You can
I've got a feeling that would have been their toilet holes.
Yeah, there was some discussion at Bella Bella about that. Yeah. Whether that was to pour stuff down if someone's trying to assault you.
Yeah, it could also repel any invaders. Yeah.
There's a lizard in there. Hello, mate.
Yeah.
Hello, buddy. Hey. It's okay. You're pretty. You're real pretty.
Yeah, see, that's saying like the action itself. 4 o'clock, the British started to use their artillery, bombarding the north bank, thinking that the Boers were on the other side of the river.
Yeah.
And it wasn't the case. They were on this side of the river.
So this is not Moy River?
No. This is not. Moy River's in Natal.
Right.
This is Modder River.
Modder River, of
Modder
course.
River.
Yes, I've heard of it.
It's a confluence, yeah. In fact, Paardeberg battle is also on the banks of the Modder River, the same river. And it goes all the way past Bloemfontein.
And what's done that, Tony? You're a game scout. Human?
Yep.
Right. And what's you been eating?
I'm not going to go and delve into that, thank you very much.
Can we get a photo? Just going to have a look.
Yeah, your New South Wales license is here.
Up there again. Probably no one's been in for years. But, yeah, just got word from Tony, confirmation. The New South Welshmen were here. The boys from New South Wales, with their vicious lances, but whether they used them, they didn't.
I don't think they would have used them here, though.
This isn't no good. Bridge comes over, a train comes over the bridge. Nice cool breeze it's creating. There'll be many of them.
can't see the trenches anymore, but this is where they would have all been, right along. And the town of Ritchie is further down. That's where the British eventually got to.
Yeah, these reeds weren't here then. More trenches in front of the river. Yeah. Muddy.
And here we go, my friend. And you can see the
Yeah.
here we all are.
Oh, yeah, all the way along there.
Yeah, so all the way. We are here on this bridge.
Yeah.
We're right here as we speak. And so you would have had the Transvaalers on our right.
Yeah.
And the Free Staters on our left. Yeah. And eventually they did break through. As I said, the thing which gave them away was the Free State commanders. They gave it away.
Yeah, right.
So.
It's a wide river, yeah.
One thing which I've learned about British officers, they were so arrogant. They'd never done their reconnaissance. So, you would have saved a lot of lives if you just thought, well, wait a minute, let me just check first before crossing this river. Let's see if...
Send a scouting party over first.
You would have had so much more to know.
I'm afraid of heights. I don't like it here. Oh, that's a great view though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
That's where the Free Staters were over there.
That's right. And that's where eventually the British broke through. And that somewhere over there is where Delray lost his son, Adrian.
Over there?
Yeah.
Adrian.
So,
Delray.
So yeah, this was the only battle as you just saw where both commanders got injured.
Cars up there on the left.
And ironically,
we've stopped at the military cemetery at Modder River. It's hard, I'm telling you guys, it's 38 now. It's so dry. Extra sun cream on, but sticking with the pink. So what's this is called? The Crown and Royal. Just in there, and you can see the old floorboards. Both British and the Boer. And famous people have been here: Kitchener, Roberts, Kipling, Rudyard Kipling.
Tony Moore.
An old photo over there. Can I film over there, please?
There's a memorial in the garden as well. That's a
So we'll go out there in a moment. Okay. They've got the traditional pool table. Springboks. We don't know who that is. Here's a photo of the places that looked back then. Oh, look at that. That's when the bridge was blowing. Postcard from Modder River. Crown and Royal. There's some British soldiers watering their horses at the Modder. And so they built a pontoon to get across. So Nelson Mandela was here. That's the old Crown and Royal in its day. There's Nelson. And the old tablecloths, eh? Johnny and Ginger. Tablecloth for Johnny Walker and Ginger. Who's ever heard of such a thing? It's better out here than in there even. Wow. You know, the Crown and Royal prominent residents included the Field Marshal Lord Roberts, Kitchener, General French, Colonel Haig, Rudyard Kipling. 15th of February 1900, Roberts' forces lifted the siege of Kimberley at the Battle of Paardeberg. They captured 4,000 The captives were escorted back to Modder Station before being railed down prisoner of war camps. Much of the veranda is much cooler out here.